There is a book written in the 1600s that was banned in every country it reached. Catholic authorities banned it. Protestant authorities banned it. Jewish authorities banned it. Three completely different institutions that agreed on almost nothing agreed on this. Not because it was politically dangerous, because if ordinary people read it and actually understood it, the entire architecture of organized religion would have no ground left to stand on. That book still exists. Most people have never opened it. Before the book, there was the punishment. In 1656, a 23-year-old man received the harshest excommunication ever formally recorded in the Amsterdam Jewish community. The document is still preserved. Historians have studied it for centuries. It uses language almost no excommunication uses. Curses so severe, condemnation so absolute, that scholars still debate what exactly he had done to trigger it. No specific charges were ever recorded. No debate. No trial. Just removal. Complete and total. His own community, his own family, gone overnight. He was not allowed to come within 4 cubits of any member of the community. No one was permitted to speak to him, read anything he wrote, or be in the same room as him. He was 23 years old. Whatever ideas were already forming in his mind, they were dangerous enough that people who hadn't even read them yet wanted them gone. His name was Baruch Spinoza. Here is what Spinoza actually concluded, and why it threatened everyone equally. He didn't argue about religion. He didn't attack the Bible emotionally. He did something far more dangerous. He sat down, and using the same logical tools as Euclid's geometry, definitions, axioms, proofs, he built an argument about the nature of reality so precise, so internally consistent, that no one has ever fully dismantled it. The conclusion: there is only one substance in the universe. Not two, not matter and spirit, not God and creation, not heaven and earth. One substance, infinite, eternal, self-caused. He called it Deus sive natura, God or nature. Not God and nature, God or nature, the same thing. Two names for one reality. What we call the physical universe, the rocks, the oceans, the stars, the bodies, is not something God made. It is what God is. And what we call God, the intelligence, the order, the structure underlying everything, is not a being above nature. It is what nature is when you look at it completely. Sit with what that means. If God and nature are the same thing, then God does not stand apart from the universe, making decisions about it. God does not answer prayers, not because God is absent, but because asking God to intervene in nature is asking nature to intervene in itself. There is no external deity watching from above. There is no heaven separate from here. There is no fall from grace, because there was nowhere to fall from. There is only this universe, this reality, infinite, eternal, expressing itself through every particle, every creature, every thought, including you, including your consciousness. Spinoza said human consciousness, thought itself, is one of the infinite attributes of the one substance. Not produced by the universe, not separate from the universe. The universe thinking. Now you understand why 3 separate religious institutions agreed it had to be banned. Because if Spinoza is right, then no institution stands between you and God. Because you are already inside God. You have never been anywhere else, and neither has anyone else, including the institutions. Here is the part most accounts skip past. Spinoza didn't just write about this, he lived it. He was offered a professorship at the University of Heidelberg. He turned it down. He was offered money, patronage, fame. He turned it down. He ground lenses for a living, optical lenses, for microscopes and telescopes. Alone. In a small room. He said he didn't want his thinking owned by anyone who funded it. He died at 44. likely from lung disease, from years of inhaling glass dust while grinding lenses. He had one book published under his own name in his lifetime. It was immediately banned. His major work, the Ethics, he didn't even attempt to publish while alive. He knew what would happen. It was published by his friends within months of his death. It was banned almost immediately. It is still in print. It has never gone out of print. In the 20th century, a journalist asked Albert Einstein whether he believed in God. Einstein didn't say yes. He didn't say no. He said, "I believe in Spinoza's God." The journalist asked what that meant. Einstein said, "A God who reveals himself in the harmony of all that exists, not a God who concerns himself with the fate and actions of human beings. The God of the laws of nature. The God that is the laws of nature." Einstein, the man who gave us relativity, who understood the universe at a level almost no human before him had, looked at all of that understanding and arrived at Spinoza, a lens grinder from Amsterdam who died 250 years before him. That is not a coincidence. That is a trail. The book they banned everywhere is called The Ethics. It is not about morality in the way most people mean morality. It is about the structure of reality. What God is, what you are, what freedom actually means inside a universe where everything is one substance. They banned it because it was dangerous. It is still dangerous. Not to you, to the idea that you need something between you and the ground of everything. Spinoza's answer, arrived at through pure logic, in a small room while grinding glass, was that there is no between. There never was. Next episode, we go deeper.